Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating small coins ever minted, the Liberty United States of America 1 dime, featuring the powerful motto, "In God We Trust." This tiny dime may look ordinary, but hidden within it are rare error coins, ribbed edge varieties, misprints, off-center strikes, and unique U.S. Mint anomalies that can turn pocket change into serious money. From Liberty dime error coins to valuable U.S. dime varieties, collectors around the world are searching for these rare finds. Some of these dimes are known for unusual rims, die cracks, double details, and unexpected mint mistakes that dramatically increase their value. If you've ever wondered whether a simple dime could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, you're in the right place. Watch closely, because the dime in your hand might be far more valuable than you think. If you want, I can also add high-ranking YouTube tags. Rewrite it in more dramatic or storytelling style. Optimize it for shorts or reels. Just say the word fire. The 1976 D1 dime from the United States of America carries a mysterious aura that keeps collectors awake at night, because on the surface it looks like an ordinary small coin, yet deep within its metal lies a story of hidden potential and forgotten treasure. This dime belongs to the Liberty tradition through the spirit of American freedom it represents, a continuation of values that have flowed through U.S. coinage for generations. Most people have held dimes like this in their hands without a second glance, spending them on coffee or change, never realizing that a single overlooked example could hold a life-changing surprise. That is what makes this coin so thrilling. It hides in plain sight, blending into everyday life while quietly waiting for the right eyes to recognize its true power. What turns an ordinary 1976 D dime into something extraordinary is not just its date or mint mark, but the rare and almost mythical variations that can exist within a small group of coins. Sometimes a tiny mistake at the mint, an unusual strike, a dramatic off-center impression, or a strange metal composition can transform a simple dime into a legendary piece. These rare survivors are not made for everyone. They are accidents of history, born in moments when machines, metal, and timing aligned in a way that can never be repeated. When such a coin surfaces, it doesn't just attract attention, it ignites obsession, because collectors know that true rarity is the heartbeat of unimaginable value. The 1976 D dime holds special emotional weight because it comes from an era of national pride and reflection in the United States, a time when people were deeply connected to the idea of liberty and legacy. Coins from this period feel like frozen moments, carrying the energy of the hands that minted them and the pockets they passed through. When one of these dimes appears with something wildly unusual, it feels like discovering a secret message from the past. That emotional pull drives collectors to chase these coins with passion, sometimes pushing values into numbers that sound unreal to anyone outside the numismatic world. In today's market, the most astonishing prices are not paid for common coins, but for stories sealed in metal, and the rarest 1976 D dimes tell stories that cannot be copied. A flawless condition combined with a dramatic mint anomaly can elevate a coin from pocket change to a centerpiece of elite collections. When bidding wars begin, logic often disappears, replaced by desire, fear of missing out, and the hunger to own something no one else has. This is how a small silver-colored coin can suddenly be whispered about in the same breath as luxury cars, mansions, and generational wealth. Many people dream of becoming rich overnight, and coins like this feed that dream because they prove it is not entirely fantasy. Somewhere, a single dime could still be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or an old wallet, waiting to be discovered by someone who understands what to look for. That possibility alone is enough to make every coin hunter slow down and examine each piece carefully. The idea that destiny could be hiding in something so small is powerful, and it keeps the world of coin collecting alive with hope and excitement. What truly separates a potentially priceless 1976 D dime from an ordinary one is knowledge and patience. Rushing to sell such a coin without understanding its uniqueness can destroy a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Serious collectors know that proper evaluation, careful handling, and strategic timing are everything. A rare dime revealed to the right audience at the right moment can shake the market, while the same coin sold carelessly can vanish into history without ever reaching its true worth. This is why people say that if you believe you have a special 1976 D dime, you should never let it go cheaply. Coins like this are not just metal, they are keys that can unlock doors to a completely different future. The fortune they carry is not only measured in money but in the power to change lives, rewrite stories, and turn ordinary people into legends within the collecting world. That transformation is what makes these coins feel almost magical. In the end, the legend of the 1976 D Liberty Spirit dime is a reminder that treasure does not always glitter loudly. Sometimes it whispers from the bottom of a pocket or the corner of a drawer, waiting for someone who listens closely. If fate ever places such a coin in your hands, treat it with respect, curiosity, and patience, because history has shown again and again that the smallest objects can carry the biggest destinies, and one single dime can hold the power to change your fortune overnight. The 1975 one dime from the United States of America, carrying the powerful words, "In God We Trust," is often dismissed as ordinary, yet hidden beneath its familiar silver-gray surface is a story that keeps collectors awake at night. This small coin represents liberty, faith, and history pressed into metal, and for the sharp-eyed holder it can feel like holding a silent promise. Many people have spent such coins without a second thought, never realizing that sometimes the smallest denomination carries the loudest destiny. What makes this 1975 dime so fascinating is not just its face value, but the idea of possibility. In the world of rare coins, value is born from a perfect storm: timing, condition, subtle mint characteristics, and survival against the odds. A dime that escaped heavy circulation, that avoided scratches, bends, or careless handling, can suddenly step out of the crowd. When liberty is still bold on its surface and the details breathe like the day it was struck, collectors begin to look closer, and that's where ordinary turns extraordinary. The phrase "In God We Trust" gives this dime a deeper emotional weight. It connects the coin to belief, hope, and trust in the future. Ideas that resonate strongly with collectors who see coins not just as metal, but as symbols. A 1975 dime that preserves this inscription sharply, without wear or fading, feels almost untouched by time. Such coins are whispered about in collector circles, because perfection in a mass-produced year is far rarer than people imagine. Stories often circulate of collectors who discovered a single dime resting quietly in an old jar, inherited box, or forgotten wallet, only to realize it was no ordinary survivor. The excitement doesn't come from luck alone, but from knowledge, understanding that rare quality can turn a common year into a legendary find. When collectors compete for such a piece, value is driven not by face value, but by desire, scarcity, and pride of ownership. That's how a simple dime begins to feel like a fortune seed. Condition is the real kingmaker here. A 1975 Liberty-themed dime that looks almost untouched can ignite serious attention, especially when its shine, strike, and balance feel unusually strong. Coins like this are chased not because everyone has them, but because very few have them like that. In the high-end collecting world, rarity is often about survival, not mintage numbers, and this is where the magic quietly happens. For dreamers and collectors alike, this dime represents the idea that wealth doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, disguised as spare change. That belief is what fuels the imagination, the thought that one careful inspection could reveal a coin capable of changing everything. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, patience, and respect for history resting in your palm. If you believe you hold such a dime, the biggest mistake is rushing. Selling without understanding is how fortunes slip away unnoticed. Coins like this demand time, study, and the right audience. People who understand why a small piece of metal can command enormous respect. In the right moment, in the right condition, the value can feel unreal, even unbelievable, and that's where legends are born. The 1975 United States one dime, marked with liberty's spirit and faith's promise, reminds us that destiny doesn't always come in large packages. Sometimes it arrives quietly, thin as a dime, waiting for the one person who knows its true worth. If you have one, don't underestimate it, because history has shown again and again that overnight fortunes often begin with what the world once called just a coin. The Liberty one dime from the United States of America, dated 1982 D, carrying the proud words, "In God We Trust," is the kind of coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides a story that can stop a collector's heart. This is the type of coin people unknowingly pass through their fingers every day, never realizing that a single small dime can sometimes carry a value far beyond imagination. In today's coin market, stories of rare error strikes, unusual metal compositions, and flawless conditions have turned simple dimes into legendary treasures, and the 1982 D Liberty dime sits right in the middle of that mystery. If you ever come across one, the first rule is simple: slow down, because rushing could cost you a fortune. What makes the 1982 D Liberty dime so fascinating is the year itself. This was a time of transition in U.S. coin production, when small changes in minting processes created rare variations that only sharp eyes can detect. Some of these dimes escaped the mint with unexpected characteristics: weight differences, weak or doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or surfaces so perfect they look unreal. When such a coin survives decades without damage, it becomes more than currency. It becomes a historical survivor. Collectors don't just buy metal, they buy stories, and the right 1982 D dime tells a story loud enough to command staggering prices. Condition is where this coin truly shows its power. A heavily worn dime may be interesting, but a sharply struck 1982 D Liberty dime with blazing detail, clean fields, and strong lettering can feel almost magical in the hand. When light dances across its surface and every line of Liberty's portrait stands bold and proud, collectors know they are looking at something special. Coins like this are rare because time is rarely kind, and survival in near-perfect condition turns a common year into an uncommon miracle. This is how a small dime begins its journey toward unimaginable worth. Then there are the mint errors, the silent jackpot hidden in plain sight. A tiny mistake during production can transform a normal 1982 D dime into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. These errors are the reason collectors carefully weigh, measure, and examine every detail under magnification. When an error is dramatic and authentic, demand explodes, and value follows. In the world of rare coins, one unusual detail can mean the difference between pocket change and a price that changes a family's future overnight. The phrase "In God We Trust" on this dime adds a deeper emotional layer for many collectors. It represents faith, history, and national identity, and when combined with rarity, it creates a powerful attraction. Coins that blend symbolism with scarcity often rise faster in value because they appeal not just to investors, but to passionate collectors who want something meaningful. This emotional pull can drive bidding wars that push prices into shocking territory, especially when the coin appears at the right moment in the market. Many people make the biggest mistake right here: they sell too quickly. When someone hears a tempting offer, fear and excitement take over, and the coin leaves their hands for far less than its true potential. A rare 1982 D Liberty dime deserves patience, expert evaluation, and careful positioning. The right buyer, at the right time, can turn what seems like an ordinary coin into a life-changing asset. This is why knowledge is more valuable than speed in the coin world. What truly fuels the legend of this dime is scarcity combined with discovery. Every year, fewer high-quality examples remain unseen, and every new discovery sends waves through collector circles. When a top-tier specimen appears, it reminds everyone that hidden fortunes still exist. This is why collectors never stop searching rolls, old collections, and forgotten drawers. The dream of finding a single coin that can rewrite destiny keeps the hunt alive. In the end, the 1982 D Liberty 1 dime is not just metal, it is opportunity. It symbolizes how something small can carry massive potential, how history can hide in plain sight, and how patience can transform luck into legacy. If you ever hold one, don't rush, don't underestimate it, and don't let it go cheaply. Coins like this have the power to change fortunes overnight, and sometimes, all it takes is one dime to turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary story. The 1999 D Liberty 1 dime from the United States of America looks ordinary at first glance, but the moment you truly understand its story, this small coin transforms into something legendary. Stamped with "In God We Trust," this dime carries more than metal and design. It carries mystery, rarity, and the kind of hidden power that turns pocket change into destiny. Many people have unknowingly spent this coin, never realizing that in the right condition, with the right strike and errors, it can stand among the most talked about modern dimes ever discovered. This is not just a coin, it is a silent witness to fortune waiting for the right hands. What makes the 1999 D dime so fascinating is not mass value, but selective rarity. While millions were minted, only a microscopic number exist with extraordinary characteristics: razor-sharp details, deep mirror-like surfaces, unusual die marks, or striking errors that separate the common from a legendary. These rare examples are the ones collectors chase relentlessly. When a coin survives untouched, preserved in near-perfect condition, it escapes the fate of circulation and enters a different world entirely, a world where value is decided not by face worth, but by desire. Collectors know that modern coins can explode in value overnight, and the 1999 D dime is a perfect example of this hidden truth. A single imperfection in the minting process can elevate a simple dime into a treasure worth unimaginable sums. Coins with off-center strikes, doubled inscriptions, missing details, or unusually strong mint impressions become whispers in auction rooms and headlines in collector circles. When demand meets extreme scarcity, prices don't rise slowly. They leap, sometimes reaching figures that sound unreal to ordinary people. The emotional pull of this coin is just as powerful as its financial potential. Imagine holding a dime that once passed through countless hands, yet yours survived untouched, protected by fate. That feeling is why collectors are willing to pay life-changing money. The 1999 D dime represents hope, the idea that something small, overlooked, and underestimated can suddenly rewrite a person's future. This is why experts always warn: never rush to sell, never accept the first offer, and never underestimate what you may be holding. In today's market, condition is everything. A worn 1999 D dime may be nothing special, but a flawless specimen can command respect on a global stage. Coins preserved with blazing luster, crisp lettering, and untouched surfaces are treated like works of art. When certified and recognized, these dimes step into elite territory, where collectors compete fiercely, pushing values higher and higher. This is how a coin crosses the invisible line from cents to millions. What truly fuels the myth around this dime is timing. Markets change, collectors grow, and demand intensifies. A coin dismissed today can become tomorrow's obsession. History has proven this again and again. Those who sold too early are left with regret, while those who waited patiently watched their fortunes transform. The 1999 D dime stands at that edge, quiet now, but powerful enough to erupt in value when the moment is right. This is why experienced collectors say fortune favors patience. If you believe you have this coin, especially in exceptional condition, treat it with respect. Store it carefully, study it closely, and never let desperation guide your decision. Many life-changing coins were once laughed at, ignored, or spent without thought. The difference between loss and legacy is knowledge and timing. In the end, the 1999 D Liberty 1 dime is more than metal and engraving. It is a symbol of possibility. It reminds us that wealth does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides quietly in the smallest places. If this coin has found its way to you, do not rush, do not doubt, and do not undervalue it. Because history has shown that a single dime, held at the right moment, can truly change a fortune overnight.